Hi, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of JoyBaking.com. Today we're going to make bacon and egg toast cups, and this is what it looks like. What we have is a slice of toast, and inside we have a slice of bacon, some cheese, a little green onion, and a perfectly cooked egg on top. Kind of like bacon, eggs, and toast in one little dish. So, the first thing you need to do is to preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 200 degrees Celsius. Now, I like to cook my bacon in the oven. I do this for a couple of reasons. One, I like how it cooks. It kind of cooks evenly and it keeps the bacon nice and flat. And two, you don't have a dirty frying pan or a greasy stovetop to clean, which is always great. So what you need is a baking sheet, line it with foil. And I like to bring the foil up the sides in case your bacon has a lot of fat that it releases. And then we are going to make 6 of the bacon and egg toast cups. You know, you can scale this recipe up or down. You know, if you only need 4, just do 4. So I will need 6 slices of bacon. I'm using turkey bacon. If you want, you can use regular bacon, whichever you like. And we're going to bake it. Now we want to bake it till it's done, but we don't want it to bake too long. We don't want it crispy because we're going to take this out, assemble the cups, and then we bake it again. And at that point, your bacon will get crispy. So I find to get it, cooked through 8 to 10 minutes, but then of course that would depend on your oven and the type of bacon, how thick. So just watch it, 8 to 10 or maybe a little longer. So our bacon is done. As you can see, I like how it baked because it keeps it nice and flat. And then you have the extra grease. It just kind of runs out and just easy to clean it up. And as you can see, it is not crispy because, like I said, it will crisp up when we put it back in the oven. So what I like to do is have a plate and then just line it with some paper towel and put the bacon on there because especially turkey bacon's not so bad. But regular bacon, a lot of bacon grease. So I like to put it on this and then, kind of blot it to get rid of any of the extra fat. So while I do that, and I'm going to set up, you want to reduce your oven temperature to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 190 degrees Celsius, and we'll be right back. So now we are ready to assemble our toast cups. You will need a 6-cup. I'm using a jumbo muffin pan. Now you could use a regular size pan, but I find the jumbo size better because by the time you get the bread and the bacon and the egg all in there, if you're using the regular size muffin pan, sometimes the egg will run over the top. So if you only have a regular size muffin pan, what I would do is maybe use a medium size egg. I'm using large here. Maybe you just cut back on the size of your egg. So the first thing what we want to do is to butter the inside of our muffin cup. So melt about 5 tablespoons, 70 grams of butter. I just did that in a small saucepan. Because once we put the bread in there, we're going to butter the bread. So we need lots of butter. And that's what's going to give our bread, make it nice and brown and crispy. So good. And like I said, you can scale this recipe up or down, if you're having a large crowd. You might want to make more. Because I find some people want 1 and some people like 2 of these. So make extra. Okay. So now for our bread. I like to have, if I'm making 6, I like to have 7 slices of bread because we might have to fill in gaps. Use the sandwich bread. I'm using white. You could use whole wheat. And I like to cut off the crust. So just with a serrated knife, go around there. So, and then what I like to do is flatten the bread a little. So get that out of your way so you can see. So I just take a rolling pin. Now you could just do it with your hand, but a rolling pin makes it easier. So just like so. I'll do one so you can see what I'm doing, and then take a knife and cut it on your bread on the diagonal, like so. And then I will flatten my extra piece in case I need to fill in here. Let's put that there. So, whoop. So now what you want to do is take your bread and fit it in. You want it on the bottom. You kind of want it up the sides, kind of like the edges up like that. Press it in. And take your other slice and do it the other way. You know, depending on the size of your bread too. So I don't know whether you can see that. I have a little gap in the bottom. That's why I have my extra slice of bread. So I'm just going to cut a little piece. That's about right. Then I'll just put a little butter on that. Seal that like so. And that's what you do. Just keep doing for the rest. Okay, that's my last one. I still have a little gap there, so I'll extra slice. A little more. And then just press that down. And if you have any tears, again, just press some extra bread in there. And then what you want to do is brush the inside of the cups with some more melted butter. I've already done that to the other ones. Okay. And now we are going to assemble our cups. So you take your bacon. Now, since I've got these little tips of the bread, I like to put the bacon the other way. And I will say, if you want to have 2 slices of bacon per cup, you could put 1 slice like this, and make sure you press down into the corners gently with the bacon. You could take a second slice and put it that way. I'm not against that. So, looks good. And then, what I like to do is put a little grated cheese in there. I'm using Parmesan today. You'll need about maybe 1/3 of a cup, 80 milliliters, more or less. I put about a tablespoon. So I'm using grated Parmesan. You could use cheddar, you could use Monterey Jack, Colby. I mean, if you like goat cheese, you could probably use that. You know, experiment, see what you like. Well, that's about the right amount. Okay, so even that out. And then, also I should mention, if you have people that don't want bacon, what I often do is leave off the bacon and then I saute some mushrooms and, you know, chop them up and saute them and then put that in there, or other vegetables. I mean, you can make them vegetarian. You don't have to use the bacon, and they're still really good. So what I got is some green onions finely chopped. I'm putting maybe a teaspoon. Again, you know, this is a base recipe, and experiment with it. Have fun with it. You know, bacon, you could probably use some ham to line the, I mean, let your imagination run free. And then I have my eggs. So what I like to do, I like to crack it into a separate cup, just in case. And then just put it into your cup. And then I like to put a little salt and pepper on top. Season it. I'm a fan of pepper, but don't add too much. Okay, my last one. The salt and pepper. And now, To bake these, I'm going to say around 20 minutes. What you're looking for is you want to make sure that the egg white is cooked through. And then for the egg yolk, I'm just going to leave that up to you, whether you want the egg to be runny or whether the yolk to be runny or you want it to be set. So you might want to start checking it about 18 minutes and see, and it can go 18 maybe to 22. So. Our toast cups are done. Don't they look gorgeous? To make sure that that egg white is set, what I like to do when they're in the oven is just kind of give your pan a little shake, and that way you can tell. So learn from my mistake here. I did not, in a couple of these, when you put the bacon in, make sure you press it back over the sides of the pan, or you could have that happen to you. So now, put your pan on a wire rack. I'm going to let them cool a little bit. And then when we come back, we'll take them out of the pan and try one. So to remove our toast cups, use your spatula. I didn't mention this, but if you have a non-stick muffin pan, it makes it so much easier. But we did really butter them, so they should come out really easily. So let's try one. Now, you can eat this on a plate with a knife and fork, or great finger food. If you want to on-the-go breakfast. But I'm going to cut this so you can see inside. I like my yolk just a little runny. So there you have it. So good. I'm just going to cut a little piece. It's still quite hot. That is really delicious. You got the toast, a little crunchiness. It's got the butter on it already, so you don't even have to butter your bread. And then you've got, I like the little bit of green onion in there, or you use chives. And the cheese, and the egg, bacon. They're so cute. For a breakfast or for a brunch dish, it's so nice because you can put them all out on a nice platter, serve a salad, or it's just a great, great dish, and you have to try. Oh, if you have leftovers, cover them, store them in the refrigerator, and then just reheat them in the oven the next day. I find they're, not as good, but they're pretty good. So try this one. And until next time, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of JoyBaking.com.